Hello friends, and welcome back to Kim Pins. And if you're new to Kim Pins, welcome! Now, here on Kim Pins, we do a lot of different stuff. But first and foremost, we are here for crafts from Pinterest, hence the pin in Kim Pins. But we also do a lot of unboxings, and I know it's been kind of unboxing heavy lately, given the season and kind of where we're catching up on some hunt to killer stuff. But in this video, we are all crafts all the time. And this one's gonna be a little bit different, much like my DIY holiday gift guide. I'm not gonna be actually making crafts with you today. What I have done, and I'm pretty excited / proud, this year I really wanted to put together an advent calendar for our kids. Now, if you don't know, I am a stepmom, so we don't have the kids 100% of the time. So I didn't want to do an advent calendar for them where, you know, we'd see them on the weekend, they'd have to open up a bunch of doors or boxes or whatever. I wanted something that was like, wasn't like eating a bunch of candy to catch up on or like opening a bunch of like tiny gifts or whatever. So what I landed on was an ornament advent calendar, and this pin was the inspiration for it. And I figured this was something that on the days in December when we have the kids, it'll be fun for them to hang an ornament on the tree. And on the days that we don't, it's easy for Jordan and I to just hang one on there. So it has been quite the undertaking, and I have made 23 out of 24 ornaments. Now, I miscounted, and when I sat down to do the video, I realized I was missing one. So at the end, I'll fill y'all in on what I'm gonna do for that last ornament. But I went all through Pinterest. I also, for December, didn't wanna do just kind of like a one-off ornament video. So this is like all the ornament videos. I have linked below actually my full Pinterest board. Instead of doing a ton of different links like I did for the DIY gift guide, I took all the pins that inspired these, or if they were ones that I was directly copying from, and I put them on one board. That is linked below. But a lot of these are inspired by. So I don't have specific pins for each one of these, and some of these I saw a picture and kind of decided to do my own thing. Shocker, I know, on Kim Pins. So let's get into it. I'm so excited to share my ornaments with you. Now, the first, I'll have this separated into chunks. And the first chunk is the felt ornaments. So I found a bunch of, I'll throw some pictures up here. I found a bunch of felt ornaments as inspiration and kind of went from there. Some of them are direct copies again, some of them are just kind of things that inspired me. The first one I made was this little stocking. Look at how cute this little guy is. I was very encouraged by how well this first one turned out. And I will say I also busted out my Cricut so to do like the patterns. So I took some cardstock and I did the patterns and I cut them out on the Cricut, and later learned that I had the correct blade to actually cut the felt, which is if I make more ornaments in the future or more stuff with felt, I'm just gonna have my Cricut cut out all the felt pieces. But we did the stocking, we did a little gingerbread man. I don't know why I keep saying we. I did a ribbon candy. That one was pretty easy in concept. And this is a Christmas light, although to be fair, it does look very lemon-like. I had a bunch of different colors of felt, and I cut this one out in yellow because I thought it'd be brightest for like a light. And I asked Jordan, I was like, does this look like a lemon? He said, yeah. So I added the little white pieces there to hopefully make it look more light bulb-like. Then I made a little Christmas tree and put some little gold baubles on there. A snowflake, so I did the hand stitching on here, which would not be a surprise given the quality of it. And I just freehanded it. If I were to do this again, I would definitely kind of draw out my pattern, but I was just kind of going with it. And then I made this guy last night. We have a Christmas pickle. This is one of mine and Jordan's favorites because he just turned out so cute. So we got our little Christmas pickle there. So that was all the felt ones I made. Then I kind of transitioned into, you know, the clear baubles that you can fill. I did 4 of those. So we've got one filled with just little Christmas pom-poms. Last night before he saw the pickle, Jordan said this was one of his favorites. This one is directly from a pin. It's just a bunch of glitter confetti. I really like this one. It kind of makes me feel a little bit more New Year's like. but you can get whatever color confetti you want. This one is directly from a pin that I misread. So it turned out different, but you know, I don't hate it. I did acrylic paint and Mod Podge in there, and then I went back to the pin and realized she was talking about food coloring. So, but whatever. This is one where I was just inspired by that. And my paint was kind of old, so I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this on the video, but it got like a little separated, so it gave it kind of an interesting pattern and texture. And then I also did a photo one. Look at these cuties on our wedding day. And then on the other side, I just did, again, if y'all are not able to see this on the video, I'll insert a picture. I just did a print then cut sticker and just did #JK because Jordan Kim and our wedding date. And if you don't know how to do print then cut, I did a video for that with the Cricut. So it's just a print and cut sticker because, you know, it's a two-sided ornament, so I wanted something on the other side as well. So that was the filled ornaments section. Then, and actually, I did the stocking one first of the felt ornaments, but the actual first ornament I made, I did a bunch with air dry clay. And this was the first one. And this was inspired by a pin I saw, but also we've done this yarn technique in our chunky knit planter video. So I did that on an ornament and just cut it out with cookie cutters. So we've got this star, we've got this Christmas tree that is a little plain. I've got pearl like stick-on beads somewhere and I want to put those on there. I haven't found them, but I just really loved the color of this. I mixed up just my own paint color to do, and then I used it again in my little circle one that says Merry Christmas. And I also made a little candy cane one. Then I went and I got a clay slab roller, which is very thin. So I made a few more. They're much thinner because I didn't hand roll it out. But I also got some stamps, just some stamps from Michael's that were Christmas themed, and just kind of put those together. So we've got one that says joy. It's got little snowflakes on it. We've got a little let it snow. So I stamped this. The circles around the outside on this one are from my clay tool, but then I filled in the lettering and outline with an oil-based paint Sharpie. And then I did just a star with peace. I kept this one pretty simple, just painted it gold. So the stamping worked out pretty well. Y'all, air dry clay. And let me tell you, when I first did like this one and the tree, these have a glaze coating on them. So when I first did them, I liked them and they were fine. But then I coated them in the glaze and they got shiny and really nice looking, and I was instantly sold. So it is just like a spray paint can. It's a glossy finish, like sealant coat. So that really took the air dry clay ornaments to the next level in my opinion. So if you're gonna do something like that, definitely coat them. They look a lot cuter. And then we have kind of the random craft section of ornaments. Starting with, this one is directly from a pin. It's just wood beads. If you were around in the 90s, you'll remember we took the round beads and made all sorts of animals out of them, stringing them all together. So it's this same technique. Now, I don't know if my beads are smaller than the ones in the pin, but I was finding at the bottom here, it was kind of like separating. So what I did is I just took some wood glue, because these are wood beads, and I just painted a little bit of wood glue to glue the lines together. And that worked really well. This is now very stable. And then I just put some glitter on it because I wanted to. I think the pin has some just plain wood beads and some painted. So I went with glitter on mine. Another one directly from a pin kind of is this wreath that I made. So the pin here took like thick rope twine and just it's wrapped around a mason jar lid. So what I did instead, because I didn't feel like, I do have some macrame cord, but I don't feel like that would have been thick enough. So I took just a chunky yarn that I had and crocheted a super long, just single stitch line and wrapped that around. And then I did my own little ribbon. Yeah, it's like a little ribbon and a little pom-pom stuck on there. And I like how kind of plush it turned out. Kind of along the same lines as the kind of embellishment I did for that wreath. I put together this just little bow. So I had this mesh tulle stuff and I had the ribbon. So I put the bow, I found a pin where you like wrap the bow or the ribbon around your fingers and do the bow. So that's how I put this bow together. Though I will say my years of cheerleading, I am pretty well versed in tying a bow. But this one is definitely fancier than the cheerleading bows I used to do. My only thing, I should have done the hanging part. I should have just, I don't know, made it longer and come from the back or something. I don't know, we'll see how this hangs on the tree. Then I moved into my borax crystal phase briefly. Mixed success. So I was finding a bunch of pins for that to do like icicles or other things with pipe cleaners. And I was like, I don't know if I want to mess around with forming pipe cleaners because I've tried that before. It didn't turn out as well as I wanted it to. And I was doing it for a totally different craft. So I went and found just some like stuff that I could put in borax solution to do crystal. This is a crystallized pine cone. It turned out pretty well. It was tough because the pine cone floats in the solution, so I had to kind of sink it down. But after it fully dried, it's pretty. I like how crystallized it is. And then I need another ornament, so I thought, okay, I'll bite the bullet. I'll form the pipe cleaners and cover that in borax crystals. But then by the time I formed the pipe cleaners, I just liked it a lot, and I was like, maybe I'll try this without the crystals. So I had gotten these glittery white pipe cleaners, and I just made a snowflake out of it. I have no idea how well this is gonna last over the years. I do have a feeling some of these may not survive storage, so it might be something where I replace certain ornaments over the years, but this was the last one I made. So I just twisted the pipe cleaners around, and then I did get some E6000 glue and just kind of secured the outer pipe cleaner part. The last piece is something to hang it on. So the original pin had a big picture frame where the pin creator just wrapped twine around and clipped the ornaments on. I didn't have an extra picture frame that big laying around. The other goal with this was to not buy a bunch of stuff. So I bought the felt, but a lot of the other stuff I already had, including like the ornaments that I filled. I had bought those years ago and hadn't done anything with them yet. So I think all in all on supplies, I bought, man, even the wood beads for the tree, like I had those. I was gonna do that craft years ago too. So I didn't wanna buy like a big frame, but I had a bunch of frames from the Dollar Tree from our wedding reception. I glued them together. The glue stuck to the cardboard that I had over the table. I tried to pull it off and it broke, and I gave up on that. So I am pivoting, and I don't think I'll have it made for this year, but I think for next year, what I plan to do is just a big fabric, and I'm gonna do decals with my Cricut and with my heat press, and just do, you know, 1 through 24, and we can pin the ornaments on that. If I can find a picture of kind of what I'm envisioning, I will insert it for you so you can envision it as well. But that's not gonna be a reality this year. This was a huge amount of work, but I spread it over a long time. I wanted to have these finished sooner, but I also didn't want to kill myself making ornaments this year. So I've got my 23, I'll finish up the 24th. The 24th one, I think I'm gonna do a felt kind of circle bobble along these lines. That's what I'm thinking. And then the other great thing about this for me was, again, I didn't spend a lot of money on this. I bought some felt, I think all in, maybe $20 on things that I ended up buying for just supplies. Because what this really is a representation of is all of the craft stuff that I have hanging around my house. I bought the felt, but I had polyfill. I had a bunch of embroidery thread for those. And for the most part, like I had the air dry clay, I had the yarn, mason jar, I had borax. It was really just pulling together all of this stuff that I had around the house and making these. And I want to give a huge shout out to my lovely husband, Jordan, who has been so patient with all of the craft stuff all over our house. I was trying to keep it, so this upstairs room that I film in, I was trying to keep it just to like this table that I film on, but crafting has expanded beyond that. I took over the dining room table for a minute there as well, so thank you, Jordan. So there you go. 23 out of 24 ornaments, lots of inspiration linked below in that Pinterest board for you if you're interested in doing this as well. But there you go, kind of an explosion of holiday crafts in one video for you all. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you are excited for Christmas that is just around the corner in a couple days. And I hope all of your holiday crafts worked out this year. And if you like this video, like this video. If you didn't like this video, like this video. And subscribe so you don't miss any more crafting, any more unboxing, any more Kim. And comment below, did you have a favorite ornament? Have you tried to make any of these ornaments? Are there other ornaments that you've tried that may not have panned out as well? I'd love to hear from you. And I hope you make some stuff to decorate your tree as well. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!